Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where we talk about skincare, grooming, and sometimes hair, so if that sounds like your thing, make sure you are subscribed. Also, come and follow me on Instagram where I post a lot of stuff you're not going to see here on YouTube. Today, I want to share some more like little mistakes that I used to make way back when. A few little things that I used to do in my skincare routine that I really feel compromised my skincare routine, the effects of some of my products. Those little mistakes, those little changes that made a big difference. Okay, there's one thing I want to start off with, and I usually leave this till the end on a bit like a ranty note, but I do feel like I need to make this very, very clear right now. YouTubers, including myself, we are not experts here on YouTube, and nor do we claim to be. The comments I get all the time is like, this guy isn't a dermatologist, blah, 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 blah. Obviously not. If I was a dermatologist, I'd be at work being a dermatologist. I wouldn't be a boy with too many moisturizers on YouTube talking about my love for skincare. That's obviously not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to diagnose people with anything. I'm not here to tell you what's right and what's wrong. I'm here to share my own personal experience, and that is why I love YouTube. But what I love about YouTube, and I've always loved about it, is you can find so many different people with so many varying opinions all about the same topic. If you watch my videos, if you watch Hyrum, if you watch Mixed Makeup Susan Yara, if you watch Leah Yu, you're probably gonna see that we have different opinions, probably about the exact same product, about ingredients, what we like, what we dislike, and I think that's really, really important. I think that's interesting to know. If you feel like you need to send someone a picture of the condition of your skin, I would 100% recommend going to a dermatologist, seeing a doctor. Not everyone can afford a dermatologist or go to an esthetician, but if you feel like you need to send someone a picture because you have a physical condition or you feel like there's physically something wrong, then you need to seek real expert advice. One thing I think we're all guilty of, and I know I used to be, is not giving your products enough time to work. I get a lot of comments asking why a particular product isn't working for you. Then I usually ask like, how long have you been using it for? And let's say a serum, people are like a week, 3 weeks, and it's like, that's really not long enough to see the results of a product. Well, certain products. And I used to do this all the time. Like I would buy like, what was it? Like I bought the CosRX White Mela Ampoule Serum, whatever, it's discontinued now. But when I first bought that, I didn't see results for like a month. And I was like, I hate this product. It's not doing anything. I continued to use it anyway. And after about 3 months, I saw really, really good results. And it's now one of my all-time favorite discontinued products. Skincare, like all good things in life, it takes time before you see results. But unfortunately, a lot of us will ditch that product before we give it a chance. I've done this loads. So what I've done is I've browsed the internet, I've looked at dermatologist interviews, articles, skincare expert interviews, whatever they are. And even though all these people seem to contradict each other, I've come up with a quick and very, very rough guideline of how long it should take to see results from each skincare product of your routine. So let's get straight into it. There's a few. A cleanser, you should see immediate results. Obviously, your face should look immediately clean. But things like skin texture and overall complexion improvements, you should see in 4 weeks. Toners and essences are pretty much the same. Instant hydrating benefits, you should see that instantly. Skin tone and texture improvements in 2 to 3 weeks. Serums are slightly different. It depends what the serum is targeting. If you're using a hydrating and anti-aging serum, you should see a difference in 3 to 5 weeks. Skin brightening and hyperpigmentation serums, my favorite, those ones that target dark spots. A lot of the people said 1 to 2 months, but in my own personal experience, it was more like the 3-month mark that I really saw a difference, and I could look back and be like, oh wow, that dark spot has really faded. Serums targeted at breakouts like acne, but not prescription skincare, 1 to 3 months. Moisturizer, instant glow, instant plumpness. Moisturizers should last all day as well. They shouldn't be drying out halfway through the day. Visual improvements in tone and texture, and general moisture retention in 4 to 6 weeks. And that's the same with eye cream. Sunscreens, of course, work instantly. They work right out the tube. You don't have to wait 20 minutes before going to the sun to activate. That's not a thing. But you should wear sunscreen every day. If you wear sunscreen every day, you're going to see improvements in things like fine lines, wrinkles, dryness, dark spots. And that's kind of really up in the air. That's kind of varied. Again, very, very rough. I did film a whole video about this, but it was kind of boring, so I thought I'd just slam into this one. The next point is very, very simple, and that's just using products wrong. I know this is something I've done a lot of in my time. There's a few things that upset me that I did do, and I feel like I just want to tell people all the time when I see them doing this. There's one that's been aggressive with physical exfoliants. We know I don't like physical exfoliants. I'm a chemical exfoliator boy, gal, whatever, all the way. My main issue with physical exfoliants is that when you see people applying it online, when you see people using them on like Instagram, it's that scrubbing, it's that real rubbing, whether it's a manual brush, whether it's a Clarisonic, whether it's just using like a sugar scrub, it's that manual harsh scrubbing of the skin. And that's because when you have these physical beads or this physical pressure, the temptation to scrub harder is always going to be there. And listen, I get it in the comments, some of you do actually just prefer a physical exfoliant. They're not the best, especially if you have very sensitive skin. But if you're going to use a physical exfoliant, make sure you're gliding over your skin. Don't scrub hard. You don't need to push those sugar grains or whatever it is you're using into your skin. Just nice, gentle gliding motions. Another thing that I've seen a lot of, especially on Instagram, is people removing things like clay masks with a flannel or like a cloth. Again, this is an exfoliating step, and you'll see that the skin always looks red and bothered when taking off this dried out clay mask. The best way to remove a wash off mask is to just splash your face with water and keep doing it until the mask has gone, and also don't let that mask fully dry out on your skin. So whilst you think you're doing a skin a world of good by using a mask, to then scrub it away with a dry cloth is probably really irritating. And I know I used to do this with my Innisfree mask like years ago. I would like scrub away instead of just being patient and trying to rinse it away, and it really did make the corners of my nose red and all down here red. Here's a big one that really affected me in university, and one that you see a lot of, especially in these celebrity skincare routines and reaction videos, is people not rinsing off micellar water. When I was in university, micellar water was like my thing. Like, I would literally come home, put it all over a cotton pad, rub it on, then carry on with my routine, thinking that I've taken off my sunscreen. But the majority of the time as a university student, the micellar water would be my only skincare step. I'd come in drunk from a night out, and I have to be honest, it was usually 3 times a week. I was young, I was living my life. But I'd put moisturizer on, if that, then go to bed. But around this time period, I was getting patches of real dryness on my skin. Not only dryness, but redness and real irritation. It was in the corners here. I remember getting some on my monobrow area as well. Whenever I'd pluck my eyebrows, like, it'd be really flaky and gross. And also in the beard area. I think I just grew my beard at the time, and I was getting lots of redness here. It took forever for me to work out why this was happening. So I used to know an esthetician in university, and she used to do like eyebrows as like a side job. She would like tweeze my eyebrows and thread them and stuff, and she was tweezing my monobrow. She was like, "You are really dry," and she asked me about my routine. And she said, you should try rinsing off your micellar water. So I did, and it made a huge difference, a massive difference. Within probably like a couple weeks, that dryness dried out with constant moisturizing as well. Not constant, but morning and night moisturizing. This was due mainly to the surfactants in micellar water. A lot of people can tolerate these leave-on surfactants, and a lot of micellar waters are actually good enough quality for you to leave that on your face. However, I think I was using like a really cheap micellar water from like Save and More, or whatever that shop is called with the green tick. And also, some people's skin just cannot tolerate leave-on surfactants. So I was one of them. So if you've got this unexplained redness, rawness, dryness to your skin, it could be that you need to wash off your cleansing water, micellar water, whatever that first step is. And obviously, don't see it as your only cleansing step like I used to. I know we're all better than that nowadays, but some people still do it. I see over on TikTok and Instagram. So here's one that really gets to me actually, and that is using websites like Skin Charisma, CosDNA, and the EWG to check ingredients in your skincare products. I get so many comments about this, and I kind of really don't reply to them because these websites are not a trustworthy source for a few reasons, and it's the real singling out of an ingredient from a product that is the problem. As I mentioned, I used to be obsessed with these websites. Think Dirty, Skin Charisma, CosDNA, EWG. These are websites that list every single ingredient from a product. You type in your product and it'll show you the breakdown of the ingredients, then gives each single ingredient a rating, usually from like 1 to 5, of how harmful or toxic they feel this ingredient is. And I would check every single product I had. I would type it into Skin Charisma and go by their like high risk rating. And if there was a single high risk ingredient in there, I wouldn't use the product. And I'll ditch the product from my routine because I just didn't want it in there. I would think that it was going to rip my skin off. And it annoys me looking back because I could have missed out on some amazing, amazing products. When looking at skincare ingredients, you need to look at the formulation as a whole and not singling out individual ingredients. It's like looking at a bit of fruit and thinking, oh, it's got sugar in there in the form of fructose. Can't have that. Sugar's bad for you. Without taking into consideration the overall benefits. I think alcohol is a really good example of this, and whilst it's not highest up in the harmful or high risk factors on these websites, it's an ingredient that when people see this in the list on their ingredients, they're like, not using that, it's got alcohol in, it's going to dry me out, even if it's in a nice thick, luxurious moisturizer. We still have this idea that alcohol is going to dry out our skin. Remember, it's the dose that makes the poison as well. Like putting a little bit of salt on your dinner, it's fine in moderation. If you're going to sit there and eat a bucket of salt with a spoon, it's going to kill you. I feel like people don't give cosmetic formulators or cosmetic chemists enough credit nowadays. I feel like people think they're sat at work making poison for our skin, and that it really does come from this whole clean beauty thing, this whole natural is better, and these websites misinterpreting studies, people working with these websites with no actual scientific background, telling us that certain ingredients are high risk and that we shouldn't use them, that they're going to give us cancer. If ingested, it's going to kill us. Like, that's another thing. A lot of them have ingredients that are high risk, and when you click on it, it says if ingested in so-and-so amount could kill you. It's like, well, of course we're not going to eat that moisturizer, and there's not enough of it in that product for it to kill us. Things like that, it just doesn't make sense. A lot of these sites are pretty shady as well, like Think Dirty and EWG brands can actually pay to have like a tick from them, if that makes sense. Also, a lot of these websites, the ingredients are uploaded by users, not the brand themselves. So you can look at a product on Skin Charisma, then go onto the actual website of the product, of the brand, and see that there's two completely different ingredients. So it's not 100% correct. I do think these websites are good if you know your triggers, if you know the very specific ingredient that upsets your skin, and then you can check on these and make sure that you don't use it on your skin. However, I feel like a lot of it just adds to the kind of fear-mongering, misinformation, misinterpretation that is already out there. I just avoid those websites now, to be honest with you. The next point is that sometimes you just don't need to use that skincare product. There have been times where I've been so desperate and wanted so much to use a product that it's completely ruined my routine because I don't need it and I could have been using something else. Understanding what all these key ingredients claim to do, all these active ingredients claim to do, is actually really, really important, because then you can obviously relate it to your skin. Like, a lot of people say, do I need to use vitamin C? Do you want to brighten your complexion? Do you want to even it out? If you do, vitamin C. Like, do I need to use an AHA? I feel like everyone should exfoliate, but if you're worried more about your pores, blackheads, use a BHA, surface of the skin, use an AHA, you know, things like that. Knowing what each ingredient does and if you really can benefit from it. One thing that I've stopped actually doing now is using a niacinamide serum, because niacinamide is an amazing product and I still love it, and I recommend if you're having a problem with excess sebum production, if you want a more even skin tone, for example, then go ahead and use a niacinamide serum. My sebum is pretty much under control. I have niacinamide in my toner, quite high up on that ingredient list as well. Even though it's not going to be as potent as a serum, at this moment in time, I do not feel like I need extra niacinamide, because actually if I went through a lot of the ingredient list in my product, it's probably in every single product I use. So I do feel like it's not necessary at this moment in time. So because I'm not using that, I can introduce another serum, really focus on my redness and complexion. So that's another thing. You might feel really disappointed by a product because you're not seeing any difference, but you just might not even need to use it. And it's like when people feel their products have suddenly stopped working as well. What's probably happened there is that your product's done its job. It's gotten your skin to where it can get your skin, and if you continue to use it, it's going to keep your skin in that nice state. But you know, skincare isn't ever going to take your skin to that perfection level. Remember, skincare can only do so much, and that the majority of our skin, the state of our skin, the condition of our skin, and what skincare products can achieve for our skin is down to genetics. Don't expect miracles from these products, no matter what the brands claim, and see skincare as supplements for our skins. Something that's going to help our skin do its job that it does naturally. But yeah, there's those little tweaks, those little things that I've changed up, little things that I've realized that really kind of have helped me move on with my routine, stop me expecting so much from my routine, and being in a happy place with my routine as well. But yeah, let me know your little tips down below, things that you've discovered. But yes, that is it from me now, guys. I will see you next time.